Your brain processes every word you speak through integrated channels. This happens physically in neural structures. Neuroscience maps the effect precisely. Scripture outlined the mechanism centuries prior. Current words from your mouth reinforce specific loops or initiate rewiring. Fear-based phrases repeat in conversations. Doubt phrases embed during self-talk. These loops activate automatically upon trigger. Reactions precede conscious evaluation. Decisions align with the reinforced pathway. Direct thought redirection lacks density to compete. Years of accumulated input established current dominance. Brief new inputs fail to displace entrenched structures. The system defaults to highest repetition history. Stuck patterns manifest in repeated choices. Loops dictate outcomes until density shifts. Speech forms the primary input vector. Silent thought engages cognition only. Spoken words recruit auditory processing. Motor articulation adds third reinforcement layer. Multi-channel input cements patterns rapidly. Daily wrong speech bolsters fear conduits. Brain selects repeated signals over infrequent ones. Recurring reactions signal active dominance. Mechanism operates independent of intent. Input volume dictates output trajectory, inevitably. Observation confirms speech controls internal architecture. Shift requires matching density on target pathway. Current imbalance sustains status quo. Recognition enables intervention point. Speaking targeted instructions displaces legacy pathways. Brain architecture responds uniformly to repetition signals. Spoken form elevates density metrics significantly. Single phrase utterance engages cognition for meaning. Auditory cortex processes as heard input. Articulation muscles provide kinesthetic lock-in. Triple activation per cycle surpasses isolated modes. Silent review limits to cognitive layer alone. Verbal execution mobilizes complete reinforcement triad. Pathways migrate to highest density sources progressively. Dominance accrues to sustained input leader. Scripture furnishes exact instruction set. Joshua 1:8 codifies protocol. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night. Do everything written in it. Source identified as Book of the Law. Delivery specified via lips for verbal output. Cycle defined day and night for continuity. Execution mandated through full compliance. Protocol assumes prevailing loop interference. Override executed via superior density. Function independent of prior convictions. Repetition enforces structural adaptation. Observed in neural imaging studies consistently. Pathway consolidation mirrors input persistence. Protocol details source, vector, rhythm precisely. Adherence initiates dominance transfer. Single verse deploys installation sequence. Daily verbalization compounds reinforcement. Nocturnal meditation extends coverage. Behavioral alignment verifies integration. Text provides operational directives. Joshua 1:8 executes as neural protocol. Joshua 1:8 deploys as complete input directive. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night. Do everything written in it. Mandates verbal persistence. Instruction channels output through speech apparatus. Meditate day and night establishes perpetual cycle. Daylight hours anchor active reinforcement. Nighttime sustains passive consolidation. Do everything written integrates practice layer. System fuses declaration with behavioral output. Lips deployment guarantees channel multiplicity. Uninterrupted cadence secures density supremacy. Compliance pathways construct incrementally. Directive anticipates entrenched interference patterns. Supplies precise displacement technique. Operational regardless of acceptance level. Repetition vector propels adaptation universally. Habit research documents identical dynamics. Consistent signals fortify connections reliably. Directive enumerates source, vector, rhythm explicitly. Sequential execution transfers control. Verse phrase initiates foundational loop. Verbal daily cadence amplifies signal. Night cycle prevents decay intervals. Practice component solidifies wiring. Archive transmits processable commands. Joshua 1.8 deploys rewiring algorithm. Neuroplasticity governs structural adaptation mechanism. Connections forge via signal recurrence. Verbal signals register maximal intensity. Auditory loop echoes cognitive signal. Motor feedback etches pattern durability. Triple pathway per utterance eclipses mono input. Density metric resolves competitive balance. Legacy fear conduits persist via historical volume. Daily verbal directives commence erosion phase. Dormant paths atrophy through neglect. Active conduits expand via recruitment. Pruning eliminates sub-threshold links. Expansion allocates resources to leaders. Joshua 1.8 verbalization inclines equilibrium. Initial 5-minute exposures register shifts. 21-day cadence embeds primary default. 66-day horizon achieves automation threshold. Verbal multivector compresses timeline parameters. Isolated cognition extends duration markedly. Architecture prefers density-optimized vectors. Verbal control regulates equilibrium point. Recurrence enforces endpoint certainty. Select Joshua 1.8 input directive. Initial silent scan orients content. Verbalize 5 iterations at measured pace. Phrase isolation maximizes absorption. Morning deployment initializes diurnal vector. Evening sequence prior to repose closes cycle. Session aggregates 5 minutes precisely. Daily execution without deviation parameter. Doubt trigger prompts instant recitation. Interruption severs legacy activation. Output trails input fidelity strictly. Phrase integrity non-negotiable. Session omission prohibited. Completion log tracks progression. Week 1 anticipates interference peak. Density resolution projects Week 3 stabilization. Sequence deploys protocol infrastructure. Verbalization manages adaptation core. Cadence constructs volume gradient. Recurrence guarantees convergence. Repetition efficacy stems from density persistence requirement. Isolated signals dissipate rapidly. Daily verbal pressure sustains legacy erosion. Disuse precipitates conduit degradation. Emerging paths advance via activation quota. Multi-vector verbalization amplifies compounding. Session linkage preserves momentum accrual. Architecture automates density frontrunner. Uniformity forges certainty trajectory. Joshua 1.8 iteration deploys compliance infrastructure. Fear conduits deplete absent replenishment. Interference maximizes initial phase. Density differential secures resolution. Research validates recurrence-induced reconfiguration. Directive prescribes vector methodology. Synergy assures terminal state. Distributed short cadences exceed sporadic intensity. Response calibrates to rhythm primacy. Verbal authority governs duration vector. Implement Joshua 1.8 today. Verbalize. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night. Do everything written in it. Morning 5 iterations, evening 5 iterations. Aggregate 5 minutes. Daily for 21-day horizon. Log session fulfillment. Anticipate shift registration day 7.
Automation threshold, day 21. Doubt incursion triggers recitation. Deviation interval, 0. Loop deploys reconfiguration. Density erects primary default. Protocol adherence absolute. Activation commences immediately.